Hello, hello. This is another episode of this series, Motivational Monday Live, with your host, Aura Elena Martinez. And this week's episode is entitled, Are You Wasting Time? Before I start with today's episode, or this week's episode, better yet to say, I would like to start off by introducing myself if this is the first time that you are watching this series, and also share with you what was it that motivated me or inspire me to start this series. So once again, my name is Orlando Martinez, and I'm a self-discovery and empowerment coach, helping women gain total clarity in their purpose so they can wake up to daily fulfillment and certainty. Now, a purpose is not to be limited to just a calling. And this is because you could be living your calling and still not be living your most purposeful life. And this is because your most purposeful life also includes you enjoying greater levels of mental well-being. I almost got tongue-tied here. Emotional well-being, spiritual well-being, physical well-being, and why not, even financial well-being. And this is because every part of you and your life matters, right? And what motivated me, what got me to start this series, Motivational Monday Live, is the fact that Monday tends to be that day of the week that some are like, oh my gosh, I got to start this new week. Oh, I got to go to work. I got to do this. I got to do that, right? And I want to say the following. If you already are not looking forward to your Mondays, you're not looking forward to your job, you're not looking forward to what you're doing, you're not looking forward to your week, let that be your sign that something has to change. Let that be your sign, because it is a sign. So many times we tend to ignore what it is that we're feeling, and we're pushing through. I got to push myself to go to work. I got to push myself to do this, even though I don't want to do it. I got to push myself to do that. And the thing is, everything that you're feeling for a reason. That's just information that is coming from your inner being, from your soul, from your essence. That is not to be ignored. Anything that you feel is not to be ignored. It is for you to pay attention to it. It is for you to understand where is it coming from, what is going on, etc., etc. All right? Because that could be your sign that it's time to go on a different direction in your life. And it is my desire that this series gets you closer and closer to your truth. And why is you understanding, knowing, and living your truth so important? Because that happiness that you're seeking, that fulfillment, that you feeling so complete comes from you living your truth, right? The more you live in your truth, the happier you will feel, the more in alignment you will feel, because you're living according to your essence, not according to what someone else has to say, right? And it is my desire that you elevate your level of consciousness. You're going to hear me say this every single week. This is more important than you could possibly imagine. When you notice that some people are able to take advantage of certain opportunities, they're able to see things differently, they're able to do things a little differently, I can guarantee you they're also in a different level of consciousness. Just like when you're watching the street from the first floor, the cars look big, people look big, the buildings look big, right? But if you go to the 10th floor, people start looking smaller, cars look smaller, the buildings don't look as big as they looked like before. The same thing happens with your level of consciousness. The more you elevate your level of consciousness, the things that was once big is going to start looking smaller, right? And then also what happens is the things that you thought were very small, they start having a bigger meaning to you because you understand the impact that they have, the influence that they have in your life. So this is why all of this matters. When you're wanting to shift your life, it requires a different level of consciousness, because it requires you to be above the problem, above the situation, above whatever it is that you may be living that you do not like. This is the reason why you're going to hear me say over and over and over again, your level of consciousness matters, okay? So once again, this week's episode is entitled, Are You Wasting Time? And I want to talk about this because this matters. This matters so much. This matters because your energy, your time, and your resources are valuable. And time actually is your most valuable asset because it's one of those things that once it's gone, it's gone. Whereas energy and money is something that you can always replace. You can always make up. You may have lost money or wasted money. You can always make that money back. Energy, you can always replenish your own energy. Time, this morning, we're not going to get it back. You're going to get another morning, but not this same morning that just passed. Tonight, once tonight is gone, it's gone. You may get another night, but you're not going to get the same night. So you see where I'm going, that time is your most valuable asset. So in today's episode, I'll discuss what is actually wasting time for you. Okay? Even though I'm going to discuss some of the things that we need to be very mindful of when it comes to wasting time. But you understanding what wasting time is for you, it's even more valuable than what I can say is wasting time, than what someone else can say is wasting time, right? And this is because each and every one of us, we're all different. We're all different, and we're all in different stages in our life, okay? And our purpose in this life may be different as well. So this is why this matters more than you could possibly imagine. The second thing I'm going to be talking about is I'm going to clarify what wasting your time is not. This is very important as well, right? This is so important because there are times that we can shame ourselves, right, for not doing more. And we could think that the way we're going to take advantage of time is doing, not necessarily, right? Or we could compare ourselves to others, to what other people achieve. We could be triggered also because of what other people achieve or do, right? Or we may feel jealous because other people are achieving more and we are not. This is why this matters a lot. And then the third thing that I'm going to be discussing is how to stop wasting your time, okay? So you don't feel like your day just goes by and you have nothing to show for it. Now, I want to first clarify what wasting your time is not. This is very important for me to be talking about. Wasting your time is not getting rest when you need it. When you get the rest that you need, that is not you wasting your time, right? Rest is essential in order to achieve more. Rest allows you to mentally, physically, and emotionally recharge yourself. Rest provides distance between you and whatever it is that you want to do. And the space allows you to appreciate more what you do. Okay? It gives you space to think and feel differently, right? This is why this also matters. And what I mean with this is, for example, something that you do every single day and that you see every single day. How are you going to feel about it? It's good. Yeah, I have it. Yeah, right? That's what you will probably think. Oh, yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good. You most likely will take it for granted, right? Whereas when there is space, you don't see it much. You don't have it much, right? You have a certain appreciation for it. You miss it. That's the value of that distance. So don't take rest for granted. Rest from work. Rest from what you do. Rest from thinking so much. Oh my gosh, and over analyzing, right? Because that could be very exhausting, over that analyzing, overthinking. Rest is so important because it is a recharger. Wasting your time is not saying no to the things that you really don't feel like doing, even though it sounds good. That's not wasting your time, nor is it you saying no to what energetically you just don't have the capacity to do. This is very important, right? So I'm going to share with you. Today I woke up late. I'm still very, very jet lagged. And this is because I came back yesterday from Milan. And yesterday I was awake since 1 a.m. Milan time, which translates to 7 p.m. New York time, Saturday. So can you imagine, right? Being awake since 7 p.m. the day prior, and you're up for over 24 hours. So I don't remember what time I slept, but I slept past the 24 hours, then woke up in the middle of the night, couldn't even sleep because my body was probably like, and my brain was probably like, what time is it? Where am I? What's going on? Right. And so then I woke up very late today because I was just so tired. And physically, I just couldn't do it. I was supposed to do a training today in the private Facebook group in the Globetrotters, and I just energetically, physically, mentally did not have the capacity to do it. I was just so out of it. And so today, I literally wasn't productive at all. I just legit couldn't do it because I just couldn't function in my highest capacity. So I gave myself permission to just be. And so I felt tired. So I didn't do much of anything today. I just couldn't. All right. So it may have seemed like I was wasting my time. However, I was just giving myself a break. I was just giving myself a break. Jet lag can be very hard on the body. And if you're using your brain a lot, it's even harder at times. It's even harder. So I didn't have the capacity earlier today to do anything, and that is okay. And so the reason why I'm sharing with you this story is because if you find yourself energetically, physically, mentally, emotionally in a state where you just do not have the capacity to do something, and so you give yourself a break and it seems like you're not being productive, that is not you wasting your time. That is you giving yourself permission to be, right? Because you're just human. So you're giving yourself permission to be and to unplug. We all need that, right? Now, what wasting your time is, number one, you saying yes to things that are really a no. That is you wasting your time. And this is because you end up using your time, your resources, and your energy on things that at the end of the day, you will end up not doing anyways. Okay? You end up secretly having regrets for not being honest with yourself and to others. And anytime you go against your intuition, your truth, and your desires, you chip away from your self-trust and your self-esteem. Okay? Which is horrible because this affects your capacity to make decisions, to move in the right direction, to have the courage to take the necessary actions. You don't want to do that to yourself, okay? Number two, wasting your time is you living someone else's dreams. This means you doing something because someone else wanted you to do it, or because that is looked good upon in society or in your culture. You living a life that is pleasing to others but isn't pleasing to you. That is such a waste of time and such a disservice to you, to why you were brought into this world, to what you're meant to be doing. Okay. Number three, wasting your time is you being too concerned about what others think, feel, or say about you. Okay. Even if you do the right thing, someone will think and say something wrong about you. Okay. No matter who you are, you have someone who will have their own opinion about you. Okay. You could be doing something extraordinary and someone will still talk crap about you. Okay. When you worry too much about what other people say, think, or feel about you, you will let other people's limitations stop you and deviate you from your path. You will let other people's complexes deter you from your future. You will not let yourself be who you really are. Okay? You will not reach your fullest potential. And trust when I tell you that you will regret immensely letting other people stop you from doing and being who you really are. You're going to regret it immensely, okay? When what comes out of other people's mouth, 99% of the time, it has nothing to do with who you are or what you're doing, and everything to do with them, their limitations, their values, their beliefs, their insecurities, etc., etc. Trust when I tell you that. Trust when I tell you that, okay? This is why it's useless to take what other people say, think, and feel about you personally. And when you get this, that what comes out of other people's mouth has 99% nothing to do with you, you will not take what other people say personally. You will not internalize what other people say. Number 4, wasting your time is you trying to fit where you do not belong. This is because you trying to fit where you do not belong will force you to be someone that you are not. Okay? It will diminish you. It will distance you from the life that you're meant to live. It will distance you from who you really are. And it will not allow you to have a true concept of what self-love and self-esteem is. Trust, when you try to fit yourself where you do not belong, you're going to have a self-concept, a false self-concept of self-love and of self-esteem. Because if you have to chip parts of who you really are to fit and mold into someone else's expectations or group or whatever, that's not having self-esteem. That's not having self-love. It's actually the opposite. When you dare to be who you really are, despite other people's lack of understanding of you, despite what other people have to say about you, despite other people being different from you, that's self-esteem. That's self-love. Okay? And the list goes on. But these are some of the top things that will stop you from living your most purposeful life. And these are ways that you could waste your time, okay? In order for you to get a true sense of what wasting your time really is for you, you will have to dig deep within yourself, okay? And understand what gives your life meaning. What lights you up inside? What truly feels good for you? What will you do without your limitations? Who will you be if you could be anybody, and why? Why will you be this person? What meaning does this have for you? The reason why this is all important is because the more you know the answers to all these questions, the more you will know how to fill up your day. And when I say this, I do not mean that you're going to cram things that you're going to be doing. Oh, let me fill things up in my schedule. Let me keep myself busy. Let me keep myself productive. Let me keep doing this and doing that. It has nothing to do with that. Okay? This is about you living a life that truly matters to you. A life where every moment that goes by feels good to you. And this does not mean that you will not have challenges. Of course, you're going to have challenges, right? Of course, you're going to have challenges. But the challenges won't feel as heavy. It won't feel as if, oh my God, I have something else to add to my plate. No, it won't feel like that, okay? The more you live your days doing things that fill you up, the stronger you'll be able, or the stronger you'll feel, better yet to say, to handle the challenges that come your way. And the more resistant you are against negativity, meaning that you're more immune to it, right? You're not going to let it touch you. Or if it does touches you, you are able to quickly get back from it. And nowadays, this is needed more than ever. This is needed more than ever. All right, with so much going on around the world, it becomes crucial that we become immune to the negativity, that we don't let it touch us, that we don't let it affect us. And even if we catch some of the negativity, that we're able to fight it off very quickly, okay? This is why it's so important that you don't only do one particular thing, because a dish tastes so delicious when it has different flavorings. right? Life is so delicious when it has different colors. Same thing with you. When you have different things going on in your life, you're going to feel like your life has flavor. You're going to feel like your life has color. This is why it's so important that you just do not simply work, like you live just to work, right? Unless the work that you do is something that you truly love, that's very different. Keep doing more of the things that you love, right? But I say this because if you're doing a job that you do not like, that you do not look forward to, or that you're just doing just to pay the bills, you will have to be more mindful, right? Because trust, if that's what's going on, you're hating what you're doing, you're only doing it because you want to pay the bills, and that's going to have an effect on you. That's going to have an effect on you. Trust is going to have an effect on you, okay? So the first step for you not to waste your time is this deep discovery, this deep introspection, this deep understanding of yourself, right? And the second step for you not to waste your time is to follow through on the answers that you get about yourself, right? Meaning, you know, those questions that I invite you to ask earlier, whatever answers you get, that you follow through, that you do it, right? And I guess I get is what I meant to say. I get that this is one of the hardest things to do at times. This can be hard because it takes courage to do the things that we really want to do. It takes a lot of courage, right? Especially if the majority of the people that you're surrounded by, they're not doing the things that you want to do. Especially if the majority of the people that are around you, or if all the people that are around you do not have the courage to go after what it is that they want. It may be hard for you to be that person that really shows up, that really goes for it, that really dares, right? One of the most courageous acts that you can make is being your authentic self. This is one of the most courageous acts. I think I said acts, but you know what I mean. It's a bold thing to do. It's a courageous thing to do, right? Because when you are your authentic self, you will bump into those who will not understand who you are because you're different from them, right? You will bump into those who may judge you and criticize you. And nobody likes to be criticized. Nobody likes to be judged, right? But there's a bigger price that you pay when you're not your authentic self. You lose your sense of self. A part of you will always question yourself. You will always be questioning yourself, right? And what you do. Eventually, you have regrets for the things that you wanted to do but didn't do. Okay? So it requires courage to live the way that you desire to live and to do the things that you desire to do. It requires you to be blind and be deaf to certain things, to be deaf to certain harmful affirmations, right? Everything that you say and that you hear are affirmations. I want you to get that. Anything, it doesn't matter if something that someone says is negative, is limiting, that in itself is an affirmation. And the reason why that is because it affirms, it declares, it guarantees that which you say or hear. This is why it's so important to be mindful of what you listen and who you listen to. For example, if someone says, oh, you can't do a certain thing because of a certain age, or, you know, once you get a certain age, you're in pain and you're this and you're that. You got to be mindful. If you're saying it and you're hearing it, you got to be very mindful. Those are affirmations that eventually you believe, and eventually you become those things. You become what you believe. You do what you believe. You are what you believe. This is why I say all those things. It doesn't matter if it's negative. All those things are affirmations, okay? It also requires you to be uncomfortable. It could be uncomfortable to be different from everyone around you. It could be quite uncomfortable, right? Comfort is your energy to an extraordinary life. Remember that. And comfort is your enemy to an extraordinary life. The third way to stop wasting your time is to build your self-esteem and your self-trust, and to set your mind up for success. It's so important for you to build your self-esteem and your self-trust and strengthen those two things, okay? And to set your mind up for success. A lot of people's minds are not set up to live their fullest potential. I know that I was one of them, right? I was one of them. And this is because they let their age limit them. They let their culture limit them. I know that my culture and what was taught in society has limited me for decades, right? Their education or lack of it limits them. They let it limit them. They let others limit them. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts, right? You need to set your mind up for success. You need to believe and feel your truth. Oh my God. You need to believe and feel your truth. That's one of the most challenging things that you can do. Because when you have, thank you, Ana Rosa, because when you have reality tell you one thing, but your inner being telling you another, it can be challenging, right? To believe your truth, but yet you have to believe it. It's a must to believe it. You need to be able to see yourself so clearly, to see the jewel that you really are. You need to believe in your desires. You need to believe in your capacity to make those dreams come true. And the reason why you need to build your self-esteem is because lack of self-esteem will have you accepting less than you deserve. It will have you rejecting subconsciously the things that would truly help you move forward. You won't have the courage to show up and step up. You're just not. And it will affect the energy that is around you. It will affect the energy with which you're doing things. This is why this matters more than you can possibly imagine. And when you lack self-trust, you won't listen to your intuition. You're not going to listen to it. You won't take action, even when you're led to do so. You will receive the clear roadmap to your life from your inner being, and you're not going to even be able to see it when you do not trust yourself. And this is when you can find yourself wasting your time in people, situations, and on things that you're not meant to be experiencing. They're not worth it to be in your life, that are not going to grow you, that are not going to mature you. This is why it's so important that you build your self-esteem, that you build your self-trust, that you set your mind up for success. People that are growth-minded and success-minded, they're not wasting their time. They're not wasting their time. They value their time so much. They value it. I want you to understand this. Everything is connected. Even the things that don't seem to be connected are connected. The stronger, all these things that I just mentioned right now, the stronger your self-esteem, the stronger your self-trust, the better your life will be. The better decisions you will make. The better discernment you will have. So this is why this all matters. So if you're ready to build your self-esteem, to build your self-trust, to work on yourself, to gain the clarity that you need, to have clarity in terms of your next steps, to see yourself clearly, then schedule your clarity call. Because in that call, we're going to see where you are now, where you desire to be, what is necessary in order to close that gap, and how I'm able to help you. You don't need to be confused. You don't need to be lost. You don't need to be in any kind of lack of clarity. And you cannot afford to have any self-esteem issues, any self-trust issues, none of that. Your time is precious. Your energy is precious. Your resources, all of you is precious. So schedule that clarity call with me and share this video with other people. You never know who in your circle needs to listen to this message, because this is the message that's going to have them appreciating themselves more. This is the message that's going to have them appreciate everything that they do, right? And will have them not wasting their time. So with that said, it is my desire that you live life to the max the way you are destined to live. And until next time, bye for now.